Hello, children. I hope you all are staying home and taking all the better precautions to take care of yourself during this coronavirus situation, COVID 19. So, no problems. Today, in this session, we'll be talking about the chapter Travel and Currency. Yes, so if we have to talk about the travel first, what is traveling? When I discussed with the children answered, Ma'am, traveling is going from one place to another. That's absolutely correct. So, traveling from one place to another makes the life more interesting. Yes. So, if I ask you all, what are the reasons you all travel from one place to another? So, you will be answering to work, to study, to meet people. You can see in the flow chart I am sharing, to meet different families and friends, right? What else could be the reason? Few children answered me when I was teaching, Ma'am, we traveled for adventure. You might go to different cities, different countries to enjoy, to have excitement in your life and to have fun with your friends and families. But in earlier times, there were some more reasons. People used to travel to conquer different territories, different countries, right? Britishers also invade India. They traveled, no? They traveled for some good spices, they traveled for wealth, they traveled to take labor. So they wanted to conquer us. They wanted to stay here and they wanted to rule on us. So they used to travel. Many people travel. When you'll grow, you'll study about different civilizations, that how people travel in search of food, in search of water. Early men used to have this kind of a lifestyle. They were nomads. Nomads are the people who are not staying at one place. So they used to travel in search of food and water. Then you must have heard about different religious gurus, Lord Buddha, Jainas. So they used to travel to spread awareness, to give gyans. Different gurus are traveling. Still they are traveling. Lot of people, lot of saints. You must have heard about Sadhguru, Baba Ramdev. There are so many other gurus as well. So they do travel to spread religious gyan to all the people, knowledge. Right? So in this chapter, we will be talking about the travel. Then when we travel, we see different forms of lands. That is called landforms. Landscape is an area available in the country, the entire complete area. But if we talk about the landforms are different forms of land with different physical features, different natural features, right? Few piece of lands you will see with the black soil, or few are available with red soil. Few have very hot climate, few are very cold. Few have raised level of land, few have hills, few have mountains, few have very plain land. So different forms of land with different natural features are called landforms. That is called the landforms. And today in this chapter you can see the flow chart. It is written here that all the different areas of land with different natural features are landforms, and I have written the types of landforms, that is plains, hills, mountains, deserts, islands and plateaus. So we will be discussing about all of these in detail in this chapter. Moving on to the first landform, that is plain. What are plains? If we have to describe it in one line, it is self-explanatory word. Plain, of area of flat land. The piece of land which is very, very flat, with no mountains, no holes. I'm not talking about the pit holes. So plain is a form of land which is the flat land. That is plain. Now if we have to talk about the characteristics of plain, so you can see the flow chart. It is written here that characteristics. Many rivers flow through this. Many river flow through this. You can see that. Yes, children. Definitely, many main rivers flow through the northern plains like Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Satluj. These all are the main rivers which are flowing on the northern plain. And the place where Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra are meeting is called as their meeting is known as Triveni Sangam. That is Gangetic Plains. You will be knowing about it in your higher classes in class 6. But in class 4, we have to know about that many rivers flow through it. And when the rivers are flowing, you must have observed if you have traveled to the beach city, the soil near the bank of river is very soft, very nice soil. When ma'am used to be small, ma'am used to make lot of castles and laddus and with no cracks. The soil was so beautiful and nice to handle, soft to handle, that it used to be crackless. It used to be crackless, which was really amazing. So many rivers flow through it. Then if we have to talk about the deposition of silt, you can see the point number 2. Yes, the deposition of silt means when the waves are coming and leaving all the sand and dust particles and the bank of river, on the bank of river, and this process takes place millions of times, and then that deposition of sand and dust particles make the silt and makes the soil very, very soft and good to grow crops. The soil which is good to grow crops is called very fertile soil. Fertility of the soil increased. Right? So this is the point number 2 for plains. Now if we have to talk about the crops, yes, the wide variety of crops are grown here. The major crops are wheat, jute, sugarcane and rice in the northern plains. Because the environment, the climate which is required, the soil, the water quantity is available. The appropriate water, climate, soil and atmosphere is available to grow these crops. Right? And the last point, if I talk about, the people wear salwar kameez, saris, kurta pajamas or short pants here. Why? Because the people feel comfortable wearing this. People feel comfortable wearing it. The climate is pleasant, and if it is hot, even then the air passage is clear. They don't feel so much of heat there. Whereas in south, the climate is very hot, so people have to wear lungis there. Because lungis are the most comfortable attire they can wear. They don't feel hot there. In north, you must not have seen many people wearing lungis. Right? So the next landform, this was the first landform we could study about the plains, and the next landform you can see the hills and mountains. Yes, children. Hills are also pahads and mountains are also pahads. Then what is the difference? The difference between these two things are the hills are the smaller mountains which are higher than the land, higher than ground, but lesser than mountain. Lesser than mountain. Mountains are the highest mountains, the biggest mountains with steep slope. Mountains are the highest portions of land, you can see in the flow chart I have made. Then the steep slope. Steep slopes means which is equal to 90 degree or closer to that. Which is very, very difficult to climb on. Very difficult to climb on. So mountains are having the steep slopes, whereas the hills are easier to climb because they are smaller in size. Then we call the pointed top of the mountain is called as peak. You must have heard this word in news that so and so person has climbed up the mountain Everest peak, has reached the peak. or it is the peak point of my pain. Means the pain is elevated so much that after this peak point I cannot bear it. And the chain of mountains is called the range. When you get to see a lot of mountains in a chain, in a row, it becomes a range. So we'll talk about the longest mountain range, which is Himalayas. You can check in the flow chart. I have mentioned the 3 ranges. The Great Himalayas, which is called Himadri. Then we have Himachal, which is called Lesser and Middle Himalayas. Then we have Shivalik, the lower Himalayas. You must have heard, you must have traveled to Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, right? Darjeeling. So these all are the places comes under Himachal range, middle Himalayas. They have thick forest with pine, fir and oak trees. They are long trees which are not allowing snow to stay on them. The water is falling down. Then tea plantation is happening, lot of orchards are there, and people speak Pahari and Hindi language there. Himachali also we say. There are a lot of Pahars, so this is the reason we call it Pahari, otherwise Himachali is also correct. And people do wear dhoti, kurta and cap. So that is the traditional attire for the people living in Himachal range, the Himalayan range. Now if we have to move on to the next landform, which is desert. Children, you must have studied, you must have heard in my previous videos about the southwest monsoon. So I'll be explaining it in a bit, although you'll be studying about it in your higher classes, but I want to give a brief about it. That deserts are the driest landforms with no or very little rainfall. Why very little rainfall? Because at the time of southwest monsoon during summers, when the winds are coming from Arabian Sea, they are hitting directly to the west Bengal sides and the northeastern places where the mountains are there. When the mountainous region is having the cold winds and they are getting hit by the mountains, so lot of rainfall is happening in the northeast. Mausim Ram and Cherrapunji you have answered in your GK books as well. So when the winds are taking turn towards the west, by the time wind reaches to the Rajasthan area, there is no humidity left. Humidity is the amount of water present in atmosphere. So very less humidity left when the mountains are reaching, when the winds are reaching to the desert area. Very less humidity. So that is the reason there is no rainfall, and that is the reason the deserts are the driest regions. And with no rainfall or less rainfall, the plants are also grown, only those plants which require less water or no water, like kikar, babool or cactus are grown there. And the crops, of course, jowar and bajra, the whole grains are grown because they require less water. Dust storms are very, very common because it is very sandy. The deserts are very sandy, dry. So when it is very sandy, the dust storms also you must have observed. You must have heard about the biggest desert, that is Thar Desert. Thar Desert is having some portion of Rajasthan also, the western part of India, Rajasthan, Gujarat. So it is there also, the Thar Desert. Dry and sandy, and yes, of course, we cannot forget the deserts are very hot in summers because of less availability of water, and very cold in winters, again because of less availability of water, right? So the next landform we'll talk about is island. Children, why can't we call India as island? Because India is also surrounded by water from 3 sides. Yes, this is the difference. India is surrounded by water from 3 sides, which makes India the peninsula country. Not island. Island requires water on all the four sides. The piece of land which is surrounded by water from all the four sides. Right? And we do have a lot of islands here. Andaman and Nicobar is there, Lakshadweep is there, and if we talk about Lakshadweep is also having 36 more islands into it, which is amazing. India is such a diverse country with lot of rainfalls, lot of seasons, different types of people. And people do wear in Lakshadweep, people wear lungis and kachis. So kachis are the wraparounds, the rectangular cloth which women wrap around themselves. So that is all about the different landforms. Now if we have to talk about the currency, children, of course, currency is the denomination, the money by which we survive. With the help of currency, we buy different stuff. We do trading. We survive. So that is called currency. We do have different types of currencies. Every nation has different currency. Nobody follows the same currency as we have. Yes, we do have rupee, and there are other nations also which do follow the same currency but with their name. Like we do have Indian rupee, Pakistan have Pakistani rupee, Mauritius, Seychelles, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, they have rupee currency. But if we talk about Europe, they have euros. If we talk about America, they have dollars. So different currencies are there. And coins, yes. If you see the notes are having the denominations written in 17 languages. 17 languages you will see the denomination is written, whereas in figures it is written in two major languages, that is English and Hindi. And you must have seen one signature also on the currency notes. That is the RBI governor's signatures. Governor of India is signing all these notes, whereas the 1 rupee note is signed by the finance secretary, because that is the smallest denomination one country can have, and that is the symbol that yes, only Reserve Bank of India is having the right to print the notes. And if we talk about the coins, the old coins I have shown you, you can see in your books as well, that old coins give us so many informations about the past happenings, the important events which took place, the dates when the coins were made, the kings, the kingdoms which were ruling there at that time. Like in Harappan civilization, you will be studying about in your senior classes. There are so many civilizations. The seals are found, wherein on the seals, lot of animals, weapons are drawn. So we got to know, okay, these animals were available that time. So old coins give us information about the dates, about the rule, about the languages spoken that time. So I hope this chapter is very well clear now. So now this was all about the chapter travel and currency. I hope this could help my children understanding the chapter well. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.